Man, oh man, it's not looking good for Teofimo Lopez. As Turki Alalshikh just said in the interview that he don't want no parts of Richardson Hitchins versus Teofimo Lopez. As you all know that he's no longer want to work with Teofimo Lopez. In his latest interview with the Boxing Voice is crazy, man. Turki Alalshikh is blocking fights like the Kempe Batumbo is blocking shots. No over here. Just like he did Canelo Alvarez versus Jake Paul. No, I don't want that. Just like he did with David Benavidez and Bivol. I do not want that. But check this out. Check this out. See, this is what Richardson Hitchins said in his latest interview. And watch how Turki Alalshikh shut that ish down.
It's an easy fight to make as well. You know, both got the same manager.
Turki,
This is the platform to do.
Wait a minute, Richard. Wait a minute. Because Turki Alalshikh got some other plans. Don't knock on his door. He ain't going to answer. Yo, Richardson Hitchins, you're knocking on the wrong door. People, he said. People Turki Alalshikh said in his latest interview, Richard.
Richardson Hitchins versus Teofimo. Is that a fight that you're not going to be involved in?
I will not be involved in this fight. I will not be involved in this fight.
I will not be involved in this fight.
Man, I don't know, man. It's not looking good for Teofimo Lopez's career. And potential legacy fight, it ain't looking good. Wow. To be honest, I don't think I will be doing this type of video, especially now in 2025, in reference to Teofimo Lopez. The question is, and it's a fair question, is Teofimo Lopez's career in jeopardy? As you all heard, the Turki Alalshikh interview with the Boxing Voice, Ness, T-Tone, and the crew, basically, he not going to be working with Teofimo Lopez and don't want anything to do with Teofimo Lopez to take over the two-division lineal champion and current champion in the junior welterweight division and the king in the junior welterweight division. But just because he's the king of the division and one of the most accomplished fighters of this young generation, that doesn't make him powerful. He is not Canelo. He doesn't move the needle. He's not the Anthony Joshua of the world out there in the UK. He's not out there in Japan doing 50,000 in the dome. He ain't Floyd Mayweather. He's not Oscar de la Hoya. He's a great fighter, but doesn't have the type of power to move the needle where people's going to tolerate everything that he does and says. He's not in that position. Turki Alalshikh got the money, the type of money, we all know he got the type of money that he don't give a damn about these fighters and things of that nature. He's helping boxing. He don't need to help out boxing. He knows that boxing needs him more than he needs boxing. And let me see, and ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna tell you like this. Teofimo Lopez, pockets, because Teofimo Lopez have, throughout the years, complained about not getting his just due in terms of purses. That he was supposed to be the guy to add value, not add value, but satisfy the bank account of Teofimo Lopez, which he was been complaining throughout his whole career. And he got that work, he got that paper. He was going to get that paper, $8 million to fight Devin the Dream Haney. And I know, again, Teofimo Lopez didn't sign for a 3-fight deal. It was supposed to be $11 million in the second fight, but at the end of the day, $8 million is $8 million, whatever. I know that it's not great business when you turn around and lower the money and things of that nature. And I'm not saying that Teofimo Lopez should not respect what he signed and also hold accountable the people that signed those deals with him. But $8 million is $8 million, and I believe that Teofimo Lopez would have gone out there August 16, beat Devin the Dream Haney, undefeated fighter on record, one of the other most accomplished fighter of this young generation. Guy that's been linked up to him. If he would have fought him, beat him, move on to the next, and probably would have made $15 to $20 million, especially if I believe that Teofimo Lopez would have done to Devin Haney the way that Ryan Garcia did to Devin Haney. Now, that's the past. Devin Haney going to be facing Brian Oman Jr. And once again, Bill Haney put himself in position for a legacy fight. If he beats Brian Oman Jr., he'll be a 3-division world champion. And he'll be moving up in there to be great to beat Brian Oman Jr. And which is a good possibility that Devin Haney could beat Brian Oman Jr. But let's stay with the Teofimo Lopez. The only fight, legacy fight, that looks realistic that could take place is the Richardson Hitchins versus Teofimo Lopez. And shout out to Richardson Hitchins. You already know he's a junior welterweight champion. Beating the likes of Liam Paru when Liam Paru would be Subriel Matias. Shout out to Subriel Matias, once again becoming a WBC champion, being our Vuelto Puello. Teofimo Lopez and Richardson Hitchins supposed to be realistic. Richardson Hitchins is one of his interviews with Ring Magazine said that he's knocking on the door. He's calling out Teofimo Lopez and knocking on the door. Turki Alalshikh, Keith Connolly to make the fight happen. But Turki Alalshikh did say just not even 24 hours ago that Teofimo Lopez is not going to be working. He's not going to be working with Teofimo Lopez. It's one thing when the fighters don't want to fight you. But once the promoters and guys like Turki Alalshikh not trying to make the fight. Because now, Richardson Hitchins, remember, he was calling out Turki Alalshikh in the interview. Turki Alalshikh and Keith Connolly, let's make the fight happen. Turki Alalshikh did say that he is not going to be involved in a Teofimo Lopez versus Richardson Hitchins fight. He also said he's not going to be involved with Richardson Hitchins if he's not with Eddie Hearn. So Richardson Hitchins has to it's going to be easy for him to make a deal with probably Eddie Hearn and stuff like that. I know that Keith Connolly works good with Turki Alalshikh. They secured a good deal with Teofimo Lopez, but Teofimo Lopez pulled out of that fight with Devin the Dream Haney. And of course, it has to do more than just not getting the $8 million, because I know for sure that when they reconstructed that type of contract for that particular fight, the $8 million was good. But it was something else. It was what Teofimo Lopez disrespected Turki Alalshikh in those tweets, and then trying to fly out there in Saudi Arabia, not knowing what could happen, put fear in other people's eyes. I'm not going to say it was just Teofimo Lopez, but let me say it like this. The energy probably around him, you know what I'm saying? Because when you have a team, when you have people to listen, they listen and put fear in the expectation of you going over there and maybe something could happen. Conspiracy theory. If you go to Turkey, if you go to Saudi Arabia, something may happen. You may be jailed. They may poison you. They may kill you. Turki Alalshikh and Saudi Arabia is not worried about no damn Teofimo Lopez and how you say jeopardizing their work with a bunch of sporting events and athletes and stuff like that while they trying to grow Saudi Arabia. They was not going to do nothing to fucking Teofimo Lopez over there. Excuse my language. But anyway, these fighters are going to be forced not to fight with Teofimo Lopez, because these fighters are going to be forced to go after the money. The money that Turki Alalshikh is giving, just like I said in the video earlier. So, you think that Subriel Matias is now looking at Teofimo Lopez? He don't give a damn about Teofimo Lopez no more. He got the belt. He's gonna fight Smith. He's gonna probably fight more. He's gonna have more money fighting Smith than what he was gonna get paid by top-ranked Teofimo Lopez, that $2.8 million offer. That 2.4, I bet $2.8 million offer, whatever they was gonna give Subriel Matias. In which Teofimo Lopez ducked that Subriel Matias fight. He avoided that fight because he didn't want the $2.8 million pay-per-view. He didn't believe that he could sell more than 100 pay-per-view. And then after you sell more than 100,000 pay-per-view, and then you're going to get the pay-per-view back in. He didn't believe that he could sell that fight. He didn't believe it, that he would have done it. That's another thing that Teofimo Lopez in his career been fighting. He wanted to fight for pay-per-view. And then when he got that on the table, he declined. He declined. Teofimo Lopez have burned or allegedly burned bridges. We heard Bob Arum constantly speak about Teofimo Lopez in a negative way. You know what I'm saying? Not understanding why he pulled out of the Devin Haney fight. Eddie Hearn you already know he spoke a lot of negativity about Teofimo Lopez, and he was on defense because Teofimo Lopez and his dad, and shout out to Teofimo Lopez Sr. as well, and Teo, they my guys, but I got to break it down unbiasedly, logically, and objectively. I got integrity, and I got people to talk. I got to break down stories, and I got to do some content. And at the end of the day, I got integrity, and I got to keep it real, because I want to keep it real with the boxing fan. I got to keep it real with the people that I do support. Whether they like it or not, they know that I got to say, I'm saying because it's good for them. Not every move that Teofimo Lopez have made has been a great move. He's made a lot of great moves, especially as a fighter. A lightweight division. He's taking some paydays that he could have got more. I understand that. But that's the reason. Once you get the payday that you feel, or once you get the type of money that you never made in your life, and that's what you've been wanting, and then you don't do it. I'm not saying don't bet against. I'm not saying don't, what's the phrase? Not bet against, but bet on yourself. I'm not saying don't bet on yourself because Amanda Serrano did it. But there's certain people, certain athletes that bet on themselves and did not win. Deontay Wilder bet on himself. Should have got that Anthony Joshua fight. Long time ago. But anyway. These fighters are getting lined up to work with Turki Alalshikh. Subriel Matias, Richardson Hitchins have keep kindly be like, you know what? Yo, Richardson Hitchins, Turkey's willing to do business with you, but it's not going to be with Teofimo Lopez. What do you think Richardson Hitchins is going to do? Work with Turki Alalshikh. Gary Antoine Russell, if he had the potential to work with Turki Alalshikh or Teofimo Lopez, what do you think Gary Antoine Russell going to do? Work with Turki Alalshikh. Because we've seen Turki Alalshikh kill fights, just like the Jake Paul and Canelo Alvarez. Canelo, you're going to go over there? So the business that I have with you is no mas. Don't do that. Don't do that. All these money that I got for you, waiting for you. What did Canelo Alvarez do? After the Jake Paul fight, let's do some business with Bud Crawford. William Scott and then Bud Crawford. What about the Bivol and Benavidez? Bivol, you going to go out there to PBC and do some business? You going to go out there? If you go do out there to do business with PBC, and remember what I did for you, don't come back over here. What the Bivol did, left his belt. Ladies and gentlemen, Turki Alalshikh has the power to block Teofimo Lopez. Now I'm looking at who's going to be Teofimo Lopez's next opponent. Hopefully, maybe somebody gonna have to do this fight with Richardson Hitchins and Teofimo Lopez if it does happen. Are they gonna do business with Golden Boy Promotion? Or it's still gonna be a top rank thing? The only person that he hasn't burned the bridge with is Oscar De La Hoya. And then people's gonna be like, well, time is ticking. I mean, he didn't like Bob. He said something about ESPN. He didn't like Eddie. He said things about the Zone. He said things about Showtime. He put the PBC cap on. We don't know if that PBC is going to be Teofimo Lopez versus Tank Davis. How about if Turki Alalshikh got way more money for Gervonta Tank Davis to fight the likes of Shakur Stevenson? We've seen Turki Alalshikh with Calvin Ford, right? And let me give you this as well. And I know that Teofimo Lopez knows this. Not everybody, there was people that did not talk good about Teo before Turki Alalshikh met Teofimo Lopez. And Turki Alalshikh blocked those negative voices when it came about Teofimo Lopez. And he gave Teofimo Lopez an opportunity. Teofimo Lopez proved them right with Turki Alalshikh. The biggest issue is that everybody around Turki Alalshikh don't like Teofimo Lopez. From correspondents, from advisors, from promoters. The promoters that work with Turki Alalshikh don't like Teo. Guys that are like Adi Oladipo that works for the Zone, that's in the ear of Turki Alalshikh, don't like him. His advisor that does the negotiations don't like Teofimo Lopez. Nobody around Turki Alalshikh like Teofimo Lopez. And now for sure, he's never going to get the benefit of the doubt. Teofimo Lopez will probably have to do something incredible to the point that's going to make a billionaire like that says, I need that guy. What is that performance? Not even if Teofimo Lopez finally gets a fight with Richardson Hitchins and beat the crap out of Richardson Hitchins, they're still going to attract a Turkey. I don't know what's next. And the thing is becoming to the point where in the industry of the sport of boxing, the closer you get to Teo, the more he's going to do whatever it takes to push you away or do something to push them away. That's become the track records with these business handlers. They're all saying the same thing about Teofimo Lopez. How does Teofimo Lopez rewrite the wrong? How? Because that's my guy, Teofimo Lopez. I hope that people see the good things about Teofimo Lopez and the positive, but he's done things also with the people that he's going to eventually do business with, rub them the wrong way. The takeover has to be strategic. The takeover is not on your own. You're never going to take over anything by yourself. Everybody that has got into position is because they have a great team. Whether you're in the ring, whether you're outside the ring, whether you're in corporate, whether you're in music, whether you're in everything. You have a team, and not an emotional team. Not a team that tells you, well, Tio, yeah, true what you said, Turkey. True what you say about Eddie. Choose what you say this. Choose what you say that. You're the man, true. Nah. Yo, Tio, take this fucking deal. Take this deal, Tio. Take this deal, bro. Trust me. You're going to be in position. Listen to people. Not everybody is going to be you in the ring. Not everybody going to be the fighter. But everybody got a position in your team. And you have to, it's like a role play. You got to value those voices around you. Not the emotional people. Remember the emotional. Oh, don't do it. Don't do that, because now they're getting in the way of your career. The best team around somebody is the people that take the weight off of you, not add weight on you, not give you all the negative thoughts. Let's see. But it's a fair question. Is Teofimo Lopez's career in jeopardy? I'm not talking about just getting any other fight. I'm talking about the career that Teofimo Lopez wants in terms of taking over. Is the takeover career approach in jeopardy? Because you could fight a 15, 10th rank, 9th rank. You could fight Elvis Rodriguez. You could fight Montana Love. You got some fight. You could fight, what's his name? Blair Cobbs. You could fight these guys. I wanted to say, what about Ryan Garcia versus Teofimo Lopez? That'll be a great fight. But then we see Ryan Garcia cursing out Oscar De La Hoya. How that's going to happen? All I'm saying is, for right now, today, it's not looking good. Let me know what y'all think. It's punch drunk, keeping it real, unbiased, logically, and objectively. Love it or hate it. It is what it is. We all got integrity. Just like Teofimo Lopez got integrity in that ring, we got integrity to keep it real. And hopefully Teofimo Lopez find that way. You know what I'm saying? I'm pro Teofimo. I ain't jumping ship like a lot of people jumping ship. I'm not jumping on the wagon, but I'm going to be in the wagon telling the truth.